Hello, my name is Leslie, and I'm an old beige woman. I'm wearing blue and orange today. Okay, as we continue exploring the June theme of freedom, we'll consider inner freedom with today's story, The Beautiful Tiger by Christopher Bruce, which rhymes with juice. It's spelled the same way. There once was a beautiful and powerful tiger. One day she was captured by a mean and cruel man who put her into a cage. The man kept the cage in the jungle not far from his house. Every day he would bring out a bowl of water and some food for the lonely tiger. Sometimes the tiger would see her own reflection in the bowl of water and she'd say, "My, I must be a beautiful tiger." And when the man heard her say this, he would lie and tell her, "No, you are not a beautiful tiger. You are very ugly. You're a pitiful creature." And sadly, the tiger would believe the man. And some days after she ate her food, she would walk back and forth in her small cage and feel the energy and power moving through her body. And she would say, "My, I must be a powerful tiger." When the man heard her say this, he would lie and tell her, "No, you are weak and puny. You're a pitiful creature." And sadly, the tiger would believe the man. Then one day, when the man was nowhere around, a lion happened to walk by the cage. The lion saw the tiger inside and spoke to her. Beautiful and powerful tiger, what are you doing lying about in that cage?" "Do not make fun of me," replied the tiger. "I know that I am neither beautiful nor powerful." "I'm not making fun of you," said the lion. "You are surely the most beautiful and powerful tiger I have ever seen. I'm only surprised to see you lying here when you are clearly strong enough to break out of that cage." "You really think I could break out of here?" asked the tiger. "Quite easily, I should think," replied the lion. The tiger was not so sure at first. She had been told so many times that she was a weak and pitiful creature, but suddenly it seemed that she could feel energy and strength moving through her body. She began to pace back and forth in her cage, and then, almost without thought, she leapt against the cage door and it flew open without any resistance. Once outside, she seemed dazed. "That cage didn't even have a lock on it," she said. "I spent so much of my life stuck in there, and the door wasn't even locked." The lion looked at her with soft brown eyes and said, "Those kinds of traps don't need locks, for it is the lies we believe in, that keep us in our cages. And it is the truth that sets us free."
Good morning. My name is Dacia. My pronouns are she and her. My hair is short. My body is wide. And if I'm awake, I'm wearing glasses. My peach top, I hopefully has picked up some of the colors of the scarf that I'm wearing. I'm a member of the Pastoral Care Circle. As we continue to focus on the theme of freedom this month, we celebrate the freedom to show up just as we are. Sometimes we enter this space carrying a great weight, the weight of sorrow, of worry, of anger. Sometimes we enter feeling light with joy and celebration. Always we enter together, free to be who and how we are, and to hold all that we bring in our cupped communal hands. As a community, we share joys and concerns to keep connected. Slips of paper are available at the greeters table for those in the sanctuary to use for joys or concerns. During the week, you may send your joys and concerns by email to pastoralcare@springfielduu.org or by leaving a voicemail on the phone 417-883-3922. If you're on Zoom, use the chat box now for sharing your joys and concerns. All of the joys and concerns we share this morning will be included in the members' email on Tuesday. We honor each joy or concern with a lighted candle, a symbol of the love we share as a community and offer for each of these joys and concerns. This morning, I'm betting that Bonnie Bonner will be lighting the candles. And now, as we begin this time of sharing, know that though we are in multiple physical spaces, we are in beloved community. To begin, we hold in love all of us, those present and those absent. We light a candle for our church community. Charissa shares that her mom, Linnell, has moved to Springfield and enjoys accompanying her to church. We light a candle of joy for Charissa and Linnell. And now I'm going to check the chat. From Jesse, Jesse says, "Happy second birthday to Liam. I'm so proud to see you grow." We light a candle of joy for Liam's second birthday. From Becca G, "My dog Bo had his first dog therapy visit as a reading tutor yesterday. He made a difference in a child's confidence." We light a candle of joy for the presence of animals and the people who care for them to help others. We have a joy from Jesse, who says, "Wish me luck as I take 3 classes this summer semester." We light you a candle of joy and energy for the 3 classes this summer semester. And I know there are a couple more. Just let me get them up. Okay. I'm getting actual photos of the slips of paper that people have written, which means that reading is a little challenging. Oh, and I've already read them because Reverend Michelle typed them in to the chat box for me. So that is okay. We hold the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world. We honor the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world. We light a candle for all who are impacted. And in closing, we light a candle for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken. May we hold each of these joys and concerns in our hearts and minds. May our community of love ease sorrow and boost celebration. And now let us join together in 1 minute of shared silence, followed by Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart of the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Okay. This week in UU history, Frank Lloyd Wright was born in Richland Center, Wisconsin in 1867. He began his practice of architecture in Oak Park, Illinois, and developed a devoted following. He lectured and wrote extensively, published an autobiography in 1932, and mentored many students. Wright is considered by many to be America's foremost architect, championing what is known as the Prairie style. He built Unity Temple Universalist in Oak Park, the first Unitarian Society of Madison, Wisconsin, the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo, and the Guggenheim Museum in New York City. Wright believed that people should not have to be rich to live in beautiful homes. And he tried to design artistic, affordable housing that complemented its natural surroundings. Wright was an active member of the First Unitarian Society of Madison, Wisconsin. He died on April 9th, 1959. Offering our gifts to support the work of building inclusive and just communities is one of the many ways that we live into justice and equity together. Some of us have much to give, and some of us have little, but together it is enough. We are enough to work together for a world where every human can live into their best and most authentic self. If electronic giving is your preferred method, or if you are on Zoom, virtual giving options are available via our website, springfielduu.org. The offertory today is Sunshine on My Shoulder by John Denver, performed by Steve Breedlove.
This song should be self-explanatory, but notice that it's going to be talking a lot about the sun and how liberating it is, how you're so relaxed from having right exposure to the sun that you just have no resistance and you become a well-wisher. You become like, you know, my cup is overflowing and I just wish you well. And so if you want to get into the spirit of the song, it's very peaceful. It's not going to make you jump up and down, but it's an opportunity to relax and just send good wishes to anybody you know. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes
this way. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a tale that I could tell you, I'd tell a tale sure to make you smile. If I had a wish that I could wish for you, I'd make a wish to sunshine all the while. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. Sunshine almost all the time makes me high. Sunshine almost always.
Good morning. Thank you, Steve. That was beautiful. I am Reverend Michelle Scott Huffman. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the minister here at First UU, and I am a middle-aged woman of average height with short, spiky, salt and pepper hair, wearing khaki pants and a red plaid shirt today. And I'm glad you are here. So every Sunday, as we begin our time in worship together, we light this flaming chalice. It seems like a small act, but it's an act that's an important part of our gathering every time we do it. It's a ritual, and it's a ritual that we do with a particular purpose, to mark this time and space as sacred, to note our presence here together, to know that we are all here in some way for the same purpose, even though we come at it from lots of different religious and spiritual ideas. That here together in this place, we are a community, and this light at our front helps us to recognize that. The Flaming Chalice has roots in the chaos and violence of World War II. When Unitarians and others were working to help refugees escape Nazi-occupied Europe, a minister named Charles Joy led the Unitarian Service Committee in an effort to bring people to safety. But they lacked a symbol, something to mark their messages, something that would identify them as safe, something that would be a symbol to those who were looking for safety, to know that this was a place where they could go, where those who were weary and afraid could find refuge. A man named Hans Deutsch, an artist who had fled the Nazis, drew a symbol borrowed from the Czech resistance, a chalice with a flame, a cup to hold healing, with a flame to signify the spirit of service. One woman imprisoned in a Nazi camp traced the image of that chalice in the dirt each morning, and beneath it she wrote the words of the Czech motto, Pravda vítězí, truth prevails. She said, it gave me the strength to live each day. This is what we do each week when we come together and we light a chalice. We remember what it has meant to others in the past, what it has meant in our own lives, and what it can mean going forward. We claim our lineage. We say, this light that sits at our center is ours, but also the spark of this light that I bring with me is mine. What is it that gives us the strength to live each day? What do we do when the world rages around us and our external freedoms seem out of reach? Is peace only possible when things around us are calm? Or is there a different kind of freedom, an inner flame that no one can take away? Viktor Frankl knew about that kind of flame. He was a psychiatrist, a Holocaust survivor, the founder of a practice called logotherapy. He spent years in Nazi concentration camps, endured the death of his parents, his wife, the loss of everything he had once held dear. But somehow through it all, Frankl kept his inner flame lit. He discovered what he later named new dynamics, a concept that describes the healthy tension between where we are and where we are called to. Frankl believed that what kept people spiritually alive in the camps wasn't physical strength or even optimism. It was meaning. A person who has a future task to fulfill, he said, has the spiritual support to survive the present, no matter what that present holds. Frankl imagined himself giving a lecture in a bright auditorium, speaking about the very suffering he was enduring. That imagined purpose kept him going. He helped other prisoners find meaning and service in small acts of kindness, in beauty, in memory, and even in defiance. He clung to the idea that no matter how brutal the outer world became, no one could take away his ability to choose his response, to assign meaning to his experience. Frankl wrote, the spiritual strength by which people access their inner freedom, even under such miserable conditions, is evidence that they were capable of finding it anywhere. Inner freedom, he insisted, is not dependent on outer conditions. That freedom comes from the decision to live for something, to anchor ourselves in something deeper than circumstance. It comes from what we choose to love and how we choose to act that love out. It is a flame that we feed with attention and intention. Carl Jung wrote, our freedom does not lie outside us, but within us. One can be bound outside, and yet one will still feel free since one has burst inner bonds. One can certainly gain outer freedom through powerful actions, but one creates inner freedom only through the symbol. It goes on through willing attention. Willing attention is what Frankl gave to his moments in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany. It's what the woman in the prison camp drawing the image in the dirt every morning gave. And it's what we are invited to give to. Willing attention to the flame that is inside us, tending to it so that no one can put it out, so that no circumstance, no challenge can put out the light inside us. We live in a time of noise and chaos, a time when so many of us are overstretched, overstimulated, and overwhelmed. We carry what some have called a soft apocalypse. Not a single world-ending event, but 1,000 daily cuts to our capacity to be present, grounded, and whole, particularly those who are part of marginalized populations right now. 1,000 cuts daily. It is in this time that we must even more so turn to the flame that is within us to keep us going. Our to-do lists are endless, the news is relentless, the expectations are crushing, even joy can feel performative in times like these. Blogger Nikki Brown writes about her experience as a young mother with a toddler and an infant. She described herself as living in a near constant state of chaos. She was doing all the right things, breathing, paying attention to her breath, meditating, making to-do lists, and she still felt like she was drowning. She realized that she was trying to find peace by controlling her surroundings. But that kind of peace was always out of reach. Life, after all, doesn't come with a mute button. The closest we get is that Staples Easy button. And I think that's performative. Eventually, she came to understand that inner peace wasn't a product of outer calm, but that perhaps outer calm could be a product of inner peace. Think about that for a moment. Our inner peace is not a product of what's going on in the world around us, because we can never control all of those factors outside of us. But if where we start is the place of our inner peace, the freedom that no one can take away, and we push that to the outside, then we might have more impact on the world around us. It has to be cultivated from within. And so Nikki Brown began to tend her flame. She started with small daily check-ins and breath work. She asked herself, what do I need to do right now for me, for my own health, for my own presence? She practiced acceptance, choosing to release the illusion of control. She moved her body, went outside, listened to music. She practiced compassion for herself and others, and she returned again and again to purpose. This echoes what Viktor Frankl taught through what he calls 8 meaning-making strategies that he lived out and later named. The first one, creative pursuits. For Frankl, it was imagining himself teaching out of the experience that he was having in that moment. He used creativity as a refuge. The second is service to others. Volunteering as a doctor, even in the camps, he reduced suffering and offered dignity to other people. The third is contradictory experiences, what some might call paradox. He found strength in moments of beauty amid horror, jazz music after torture, warmth amid winter, dreams in the midst of hopelessness. The fourth is commitment to a decision. choosing to stay with his parents, choosing to trust his values, even when the outcomes were unclear. He made a choice about what he was going to do, and he stuck with that commitment to his decision. The fifth was spiritual connection. The Shema, a Jewish saying that friends know like the back of their hand in Jewish life. Shema, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. It is this ritual that helps people to know that their connection to the divine also can't be taken away, like the inner flame that they hold. Number 6 is meaningful framing of meaningless tasks. What if everything we do holds meaning? This morning in Spirit and Practice, we talked about the work of justice as a spiritual practice. And we named the ways that we have done justice work and service work, and then did a theological reflection exercise to think about the ways that that really was spiritual practice, that contributes to our spiritual growth and our ability then to engage in that work over and over again in deeper ways. Chasing a future goal. For Frankl, it was the imagined lecture, the unwritten book, the vision of sharing what he had learned. For you, it might be something else. But whatever that future goal is that can continue to draw you forward, chasing it will help to maintain our inner light. And the last one was unconditional attitude of strength. Resisting the pull to surrender to bitterness or apathy and choosing resilience instead. Getting to the end of every day and celebrating that we've made it. Knowing that we still have breath in our lungs, that we're still able to communicate with others, that we're still able to be a part of a community. The unconditional attitude of the strength that we have that can't be taken away. These aren't just strategies for surviving a concentration camp. They're strategies for tending the flame in all of the chaos, all of the violence of the world, all of the dysregulation that we encounter every day. And they're not easy practices, but they're possible. And they're practices. Some days we'll fail to do them. And then the next day we get to try again because it's a practice. And the practice continues to build on itself and strengthen us. It's a way of saying this moment matters. I matter. My spirit matters, regardless of what's going on in the world around me. Frankl survived by clinging to the possibility of teaching again. The woman in the camp survived by drawing a symbol of hope over and over. The young mother survived by learning how to breathe again and be present to herself. Each of them tended a flame within, and each of us is called to do the same. We light this chalice each Sunday, not because life is calm and good and easy, but oftentimes because it is not. Not always because we're safe, but because we are called to be brave in the midst of it. So I ask you this. What is the task, the imagination, the meaning that calls you forward? What is the flame that you need to tend? What truth do you need to trace in the sand again and again? May you return to breath. May you return to presence. May you return to purpose, knowing that even in the storms of our lives, that our light still burns. And may you always remember that nobody can take away what lives inside you. I'll close with this quote from Andrea Gibson, a poet who writes about her journey through cancer, among other things, on a Substack entitled Things That Don't Suck. Her words call us to continue using the imagination we spoke of last month as we cultivate our own inner freedom. Andrea writes, I know I'm not the only one whose mind wants to trap them right now. The weight of everything, personal struggles, a world in pain, the fear that nothing will ever change can make it hard to breathe. But I believe that there is another way, that loosening our grip on what we think we know will be exactly what saves us, not as individuals, but collectively. Imagination isn't an escape, it's an act of liberation, a door flung open to something wildly new. The freer we become inside ourselves, the freer our world will be. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. I want to invite Steve to join us up here again to share our interlude, Bésame Mucho by Consuelo Velasquez, with English lyrics by Sunny Schuyler and performed by Steve Breedlove.
Well, this song is in Spanish, so the theme of freedom and also of interconnected with the whole world. So here's an opportunity to think of Mexico. Consuelo was from Mexico, and she wrote this song, I don't know when, but it's really old. But yeah, it's really old, and it's a classic. Everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people throughout the decades have wanted to, sing this song. It's so beautiful. And the only thing that I'm going to translate, it's not really literally, but it's the part of the spirit is living in the moment and knowing the next moment might not be there. So what would you do if you're not going to be here in the next, after 3 minutes you won't be here, or after 5 minutes? What would your attitude right now be? How would you like to feel and express feelings and thoughts in this last 3 minutes? Would you still want to hold grudges? Would you still, it's an opportunity to sort of let go, because it's there it is. So the freedom. So that's the word we were trying to get to. So here we go.
la última vez. Bésame mucho. Tengo miedo de perderte después. Tengo miedo de perderte después.
Thank you, Steve. As we head toward our closing, the words of the Buddha remind us, don't get caught in the past because the past is gone. Don't get upset about the future because the future is not yet here. There is only one moment for you to be alive, and that is this present moment. Come back to the present moment and live this moment deeply, and you'll be free. Our final hymn, Judith is not here, right? Okay, Judith teaches German. And the final hymn has a German name. Die Gedanken sind frei. That's what I got. It's number 291 if you have a gray hymnal with you. You're welcome to stand if you'd like. If you're standing, feel free to remain standing as we wrap up the service with our chalice lighting.
Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts freely flower. Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts give me power. No scholar can map them, no hunter can trap them, no one can deny. Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts are as free as wind o'er the ocean, and no one can see their form or their motion. No hunter can find them, no trap ever find them. My lips may be still, but I think what I will. A glimmering fire, the darkness will brighten my soaring desire. All troubles can lighten, though prison enfold me, its walls cannot hold me. No captive I'll be, for my spirit is free.
I'll invite Bonnie to come up and extinguish our chalice. And before we do that, I will say over the next couple of weeks, a couple things to know. Next Sunday is Flower Communion. So if you don't know what that is, stick around and ask someone after the service. So that'll be a fun celebration. And then the following Sunday is the General Assembly service that will be live streamed into the sanctuary. It will start at 10 a.m. because it's an 11 a.m. service in Baltimore. You'll want to know that, and it'll be a little long because it's a General Assembly service. So it'll be 10 to 11:30-ish. Let's now extinguish our personal and communal chalices, noting that there are 11 or more people on Zoom who may be extinguishing their chalice at home right now. and then close with our unison sending words. Our service here is ending. Our service to the world begins anew. Go in peace.